Hi everyone, let's get started with this webinar about making a lasting first impression with preboarding and onboarding using boardon.io. My name is Stefan. I am the product manager for Boardon, and I will be your host in this meeting. So, how do we make a lasting first impression? Well, when someone starts a new company, we found that usually there was a vacuum. You sign your papers and then nothing happens for a while before you start your first day. And we wanted to take control of that time and use it to make a lasting contribution to the way that personnel and staff is onboarded into the company. So this pre-boarding phase, the first phase of the onboarding, we envision it as signing a contract in a conference. Then when you leave the conference room, you get a text message with a branded portal with your exact days, number of days until you start your first day, and with the content that you need to have in a welcoming and fun way. So it's totally mobile friendly, and it's no apps to download, no logins, because you have a direct link with a key. So it's very easy to get started. So you're not alone sitting in the coffee place after you have signed your contract, but instead you can get the feeling that you're actually welcomed by the whole company. This is the feeling we want, that people are coming in and you get full access to all the information that the company has. Okay, so how to make a great onboarding program or pre-boarding program? So I think that you need to make an impression with a person welcoming you. So we have a function to have a welcoming video starting when you start the onboarding process. And it could be any type of content, but it's at the moment it's a video. So we have a counter to how many days it's until you come into the company. Then we have a timeline with a couple of things, activities that you need to do before the first day, and maybe some activities after the first day. As you see, there's also an activity on the actual first day. I think that's a great way of actually having something that's really, really interesting for the user. So what type of content could it be? Well, for the first day, maybe you have for the first activity, maybe you have something about the introduction. What will you get from us as a company? What's included in the plan? What's expected of you? The second could be something about you and the company, about our company culture, about staff manuals, personnel manuals, benefit programs, clothing, appearance, etc. The third activity could be something in line of, now your first day is coming soon. Make ready. How do you get to the office? Some practical stuff on the first day. And what's tomorrow's weather? How do I need to dress? And on the actual first day, it's more, what's my itinerary, what's my schedule, where to report, the contact information I need. Then you have all these things happening at the first day. You have all this physical stuff happening when you meet a lot of people. But after that, you can use this program, this solution for what happens now. So the onboarding process will continue for up to 12 months before someone is fully onboarded into the company. You can make recommendations on links to internal systems, so manuals and support, and you can have maybe a buddy program that you introduce through this. And why not finish up with a satisfaction survey and measure how well the pre-boarding was received? So make it a constant improvement phase. So this was our kind of thought about the content. This is a good best practice. If you get this right, you have a very good starting point. So secondly, you can use this solution for reminders. So you can send them only when triggered. So for example, when something happens, you actually send a not just randomly, but when someone has done something or not done something, you can send a reminder. They're personal, and you can send them maybe after a while when you have done the program, send a reminder and just keep them on track, maybe before the first day. And why not after the program is completed? Thank you for attending. This is where you go from now. You can also send reminders to a manager or a buddy or some kind of supervisor. In a couple of days, you are getting a new employee. Have you done your part? Help them. So let's try to do this in about 20 minutes to create an account and prepare a plan like this. So I will actually take you through the setup process. This is our main web page, preboarding.io. Under Get Started, you can just create account right away. You have your manager email, you set your password yourself, and just make up a name that you're comfortable with, that fits, and you have a choice of a domain. At the moment, it's preboarding.io and introduction.nu. You can also set your country of residence. For example, we're located in Sweden. I can still have English language if I'm mainly having a... So okay, I have to accept some standard terms. Right now, before I'm actually getting my new account, I can include my company's colors. I can upload a background image or a logo to customize this. So it's very easy, and you can do it yourself. You're not obliged to use any setup fee or any professional assistance from us as a vendor. So there we go. The system is working. We are getting a small animation to help you consider what's your next step. When this is done, you will be directed to your new account. So good luck to us, and we are getting a new account created. So I click here to start, and I got an email with this data that I just entered, but there's also direct links. So I don't really need that email at the moment. So this is my new company. I'm directly taken to a guide for adding a first employee just to get things rolling. Let's set this up. I'm using another email to just showing you how this works. And I select the plan. There's a standard plan following the system, so you can just use that. Setting the date of first day at work, and I get a small preview how it would look. So this is my timeline with the activities. And there's also a library with content down here that I can add more to later. It feels good. I'm ready to go. I click next. I have my text messages. I will only send a email at this point because I'm not using the cell phone for this demo, but I can either have text or email messages come to the system depending on what kind of device your employees tend to use for communication. Right. So that's it. I've got my user, and I will get an email shortly. Let's show you how that looks. So this is how that email would look. My logo prominently shown. Welcome on board. You're all set to create. No, sorry, that was my when I started the got the account created. So I need I've misspelled my name. That was a good one. So I will resend. I will change my email to a correct one, and I will resend my invitation. It looks quite similar. So there's a guide and there's an advanced section. So, okay, now I have edited and I have successfully gotten my invite. So this is how it would look. My logo displayed, my message, I get an email and a password. It's good to have for later reference, but I can just click my link to get started, and voila, now we're ready to go with our introduction for a new employee with a welcoming video like that. We have our counter to the first day with the date we set and our activities on the timeline and our library. So for most tasks when you're in the solution, this is just you add in your email or phone number, the name, and just send out the invite, and they're ready to go. So very little administration. Of course, you can do a lot of detailed editing and setting up the content. So we're going to look at that now, but this is how it will look for everyday work when you're set up, and you can just send out invites to anyone that you recruit, and they can get started on their onboarding session right away. So let's take see if there are any questions. Not at the moment. So as I said, we had our account. I had created my user. Now that my user actually went in and I can also check the statistics. So from top down here, we have our dashboard with the guides to adjust the design and create an invite user. There's also links to these webinars, so you can get some help when you're working with the system. If we look at our reports, we get a dashboard with our ongoing progress. And on the user log, you can go in and check what has happened. So this is what's happened today. I created this one. I sent an invite. I received it, and they logged in through desktop. Good. If I continue, for example, checking some learning content like this, checking a PDF here, this will directly show up under my reports. And now I can see I have viewed the learning content. Welcome to our company. So I immediately get all these data about the system, about the users, and I can download it as an Excel files for this little function here. So let's get started working with the content, because now we have created users and we have checked our reports. So when you get started the first time, you usually have to think about this case. What do I want to have in my timeline, reminders, paper, or just a whiteboard? Make a sketch, and I think that you will be ready to go and what kind of content you want to have. Usually when you're starting to work, you start by uploading the files that you're going to use. It's just clicking and uploading. For example, if I want to have more PDFs that I distribute to my users, I just click on the PDFs here and upload it. And when I have uploaded all the documents, I can create and check my messages, for the invitations, the reminders. These are some standard reminders just to show you the functions, but you can create your own. They can be just email or both text and email messages. So let's edit this one. Hi, user first name. So that's I want to be not so formal in my tone. Maybe I want to add to your supervisor is. So that's a function. You can add a supervisor for each participant, and you also immediately get the preview here on the message. You can see that the text messages are a lot shorter, and they are limited to 140 characters. So, but you can use still use the same placeholders for name and username and supervisor and first day of work and so on. Right. So I've fixed my messages. Let's go into learning contents. This is where we actually have the ability to show a bit more, a deeper content. Click on the plus sign up here, and we have these content types available. A file like the one I just uploaded. Let's get that done. I have my presentation, company presentation. The icon of assignment, perhaps. The button text is company presentation. I can use like a filler text, a launch text about the presentation. This is our company presentation. Or if it's self-explanatory, I can use immediately, and it's just a button to open this PDF. That's for you to decide. You can also add an image to the presentation text if I like. So let's save that like that. We also have, we can add another one. I can use YouTube clips. I can have Vimeo clips. Can link to any URL externally. We can have some quizzes. I can look at that later. And we can have just an article created here with this text and images. And remember that you can use some HTML formatting here, like strong, for example, like that. So let's do one article example like this. Let's have another icon for that. That one, that looks nice. So I create that as well. So I go through this, creating my content, and when I feel happy about that, the content I have created, I can move forward and adding them to activities on the timeline if I want, or I can add activities that have no content available. So an activity, as we have examples of first day and preparations and so on, maybe you want to have an activity about group meeting before first day. Maybe you have some activities or orientation or something like that before the first day. Then you can actually put a location, and a place. Like I can connect any of these preparing materials, like the article. Maybe you have to do this before you come into this meeting. You can set the date and time where this actually takes place and create that activity if you like. So activities, as apart from learning contents, they can connect to learning contents, or they can be a small information about something you have to do, an assignment or a meeting that's set up. Right. So how do I compile this and send it to the user? Well, we have the final part how the content is the plans. So the plans, if you look at the demo plan that's here, it's fairly similar to the PowerPoint I showed you in the beginning. It's about the name of the plan, the videos that's shown first, the timeline, and the library. So I can switch to have another video if I like. I can also have video 2 and 3 being different. So let's say the first video is welcome to our company. Maybe the second video is, oh, welcome back to our company, to this introduction, or something like that. So that something happens every time you log in. I can edit my timeline, compress it, or make it longer. And this is just a template. Then you can edit this for the specific users and personalize it. So let's add some of the activities that we made. We did the oh, I can't find an event here. think I added the group meeting. Oh, it was a fixed date activity. Sorry. That's a special case. Let's my new activity. And just create that activity and go back to plan. And now I can add this new activity to my timeline. Maybe that's something that happens before the first day. Right. The library is down here. I just click to add the learning contents that I have. If I don't want the content that's displayed on the timeline to shown in the library, I can just unclick these here and just have the specific content for the library here, or I can have them both on the timeline in the library like this. So it's really quite easy to compile these plans once you have all the content. And let's edit the name as well. My first introduction. Like that, and I save it. Now, when I have my first introduction plan, I can also make duplicates. So I can make a duplicate for another part of the company, another geographical place, or just another segment of employees. So that means that I can have as many of these plans as I like. Let's check them out, and I can use them to pinpoint groups or, as I said, locations. So to recap, to add a content to my users, I need to upload the files, edit my messages, add the learning contents, put them into activities or add special activities or tasks, and then compile it into a plan, which is more of a template. But then when I create my users, if we go into users again, I can then select under content the plan that I want to use. Let's say I want to use this introduction plan here. I can then, before I send it out to the user, I can compress it again, and this will not affect the other users using this plan. This is a specialized personalization for this user. And I can, of course, add more reminders if I like a supervisor reminder, for example. Let's say I have a supervisor reminder that's conditioned on the quiz being done is completed. So now that reminder will only go to the supervisor if the quiz is completed. Right, so I'm happy with this. I will deselect this one. He doesn't have to have this content. I know that because he has been on an introduction day already or something. So I save this, and if I like, I can also send out a new invitation to this user saying, okay, I've updated your plan. I can also edit the message, like, please revisit this content. We have updated the plan. I don't know how often that happens, but just to show that it actually works, do this. So I'll send out a new email invite to this user, and they're ready to go. When the user, I also have, besides the reports, I also have for each user a specific status, how much they have done and which video they're on, especially. So that's the first like 20-25 minutes of setting up your new account and actually creating content, sending that out to your users. I think I missed talking about the quiz function. So let's go into learning contents again and the quiz. The quiz is of, it's not, it doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but it's a good way of checking what they have learned. So we have these, we can have questions with several answers, and you can set points depending on which one is correct, and several can be correct as well. And you will also get 100% correct if they are if they do the test correctly. You can get approved on the assignment. And the same with the quizzes. They can also have a launch page like this, or they can open there automatically on a button. So let's look at our updated user. Let's can use the preview function. There is a magnifying glass down here. If you click that, you can get a preview. And it looks like this. Now we have your new activity here, for example, the test I added, and all the stuff that we added as well. In the library, we have the article example as well with the images and the formatting. It can't use the HTML file here, but it will do that for the end user. This is just a preview. So that's the short and introduction about sending out content to users. I can just repeat that under here on the theme, you can update your colors later on if you didn't do it when you were starting up the account, and change the logos and stuff. Also have a very nifty slider down here to change the brightness of the background image, so your text is fully visible for the end user. And the final part is the account settings. If you feel that this is something that you can use and they can add value to your company, you can subscribe down here to different packages depending on currency, and just click on these and add your card details. It's easy to upgrade and downgrade at any time, and you would be billed for the actual time spent in the system. The pricing model is set up for active users. That means that active users are the ones that can access the solution, and if you deactivate your users, you can add another one. And we also have a free for one user indefinitely, so you can have a free account as for smaller companies or just for a very long demo period where you are considering to use it. So if you want to add another user, just click here, deactivate the user, and you can add another one under the free account as well. So I hope that this was of value to you to see this demo. We have, as I said, under the main page, preboarding.io, you can go to Get Started, and under Get Started, you have this creation guide, your own free account. So please do, and you will see more how the solution actually works. That was all for today. So thank you for attending this webinar, and have a nice day.